Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, what I thought I'd do today is, since I had so many of you respond to give me questions for a Q&A, I thought I'd do a Q&A today. And first, let me tell you that this is going up on Wednesday, and I normally have Planner Wednesday on Wednesdays. On my channel, in case you're new here, I do DIYs on Tuesday and Friday, Cricut on Monday, and planners on Wednesday. Lately, I haven't been putting up my planners, but I am going to get back to that in the next couple of weeks. So don't worry, the planners are definitely coming back. I've had a lot of requests for them, and I've missed them too. So thank you all for all these questions. I'm going to try to answer as many as I can. I had a ton of questions, okay? And some were repeat questions. So let's start, okay? I'm really excited to do this. I had no clue that you all would have so many questions for me. I'm totally shocked, okay? So the first one is where I grew up, okay? I grew up in Clendenin, West Virginia. It's a very small little town, 20 miles north of Charleston, West Virginia. And it was a lovely little quaint little town. I had so much fun. I was in the band, I was in the choir. I had friends. I was in the French club. I really had a wonderful childhood. And I love West Virginia. It's a very beautiful state. Sometimes I think a lot of people get the wrong idea about West Virginia. Yes, there's poverty there. There's poverty in every state. But West Virginia has beautiful homes, beautiful scenery. You can hike, you can whitewater raft down the New River Gorge, beautiful parks, wonderful shopping and malls. I mean, it is a wonderful state, and the people in West Virginia are so genuine and so sweet. I just love them. Not that people in other states aren't genuine, but I'm just telling you, where I grew up, it was just a very good place, and I wouldn't trade my where I grew up for anything. Okay. So then the next one was, have I always lived in Florida? And the answer is no, because I did grow up in West Virginia. Um, so my parents, when I was about, I don't know, let's say 10 maybe, came down to Pensacola. And because we had family that lived here and we always vacationed here and we loved it, and they bought 2 acres. So, and it had a pecan grove on it. It was beautiful. And they always said that they would retire down here. So that's how we all ended up in Pensacola in Florida. So they came down when my dad retired, and they built their a big house. They had a really nice one back in West Virginia, but this one was just on the 2 acres like they'd always said that they were going to do. And it wasn't like the one they had back home. The one we had back home was like a brick, kind of like a ranch style with the white columns on the front. And it was really pretty, and it was very nice and open, but they wanted something. Mom always said that she wanted a house with, we had 3 bedrooms and 2 baths back there, and she wanted to have 4 bedrooms and 3 baths down here so that the family could come and stay and do everything like that. So that's why they ended up building the bigger house down here. Okay. And so how long have we lived down here? We moved down here in 2000, okay? My brother was already living here, which is another question. Do I have any siblings? And yes, I have a brother. He's 10 years older than me, and he lives in Foley, Alabama, okay? And I have a niece, as you all know, Sophie. She will be 16 in May, okay? So there's that. Okay, so the next question is my education. Okay, I graduated with a degree in nursing, and I am a registered nurse, and I also have a paralegal degree and basically a teaching degree. I only needed the student teaching part, and then I could teach. But I can still teach now if I wanted, but I really don't want to because it's so dangerous now in schools. But that is my education. Now, the next question is, where did I work as a registered nurse? Okay, I've worked in a lot, in like three basic areas. When I was going to nursing school, the only reason I always wanted to be a nurse, basically. Even when I was little, mom has pictures of me giving my baby dolls medicine and things like that. I've always really liked to help people and things like that. And I found medicine extremely interesting. But I always wanted to be a surgical RN. And that's what I am. I worked in the main operating room and I loved it. I did the general surgery side of it, which means we did like all general surgeries, colon resections, appendectomies. We removed gallbladders, thyroids, lumpectomies. We took mastectomies, where you take the breast off. And then any plastic surgery, I did that. We would also put in pacemakers and internal cardiac defibrillators. We would do thoracotomies where they take the lung out. We would do, like if you have built up in your carotid artery, we would do that. We would do, if you had an abdominal aneurysm, we would do that surgery. We did amputations. We just did all kinds of things. So that's what I did. And I worked many, many years as a surgical nurse until I was so tired of the call. I still love surgery. We did things also with, like if you need a cysto or you have a problem with your prostate. I mean, anything general, we did it. But I got so tired of the call because every other weekend I was on call. So you would work all week that weekend, and usually you would work like 16, 17 hours on Saturday and Sunday, and then I'd work the whole next week before I was off again. Then you would also have a weeknight call, and I didn't like that because it's really hard. And then every once in a while, you would have to go in and just stay overnight and be on call for anything that would come in that way. So I got really tired of the call. So I decided that I was going to do triage nursing. And I did that for a very long time too. And I loved it. I loved helping people. And I just I find the body amazing how it works and how one little clue can lead you to, oh, this is what's wrong with them. And I just love to be able to, I mean, I can't diagnose as a nurse. I mean, I'm sure you know that, but I just think it's so interesting how one little symptom can make a big difference in the diagnosis. Okay. Then when Dad came down with lung cancer, I had worked at the certain hospital for a long, long time down here, and I had to stay for hurricanes, and I did not want to stay for another hurricane because it was not fun, the conditions that you have to deal with. Um, and then he was sick on top, which I knew I probably wouldn't have to stay with him being sick, but I was just over that. So I changed while he was sick. It really wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I took on another position for a cardiology group, and I became the electrophysiologist's private RN. And what they do, in case you don't know, they do anything with the heart, like stents and things, but they also deal if you have arrhythmias with the heart, like ablations. And they put in pacemakers and ICDs. So I scheduled all of his procedures, and I had nurse visits when we had clinic, and wrote prescriptions, all that kind of stuff. So I did that for, I think about a little over 2 years before I quit. Now, I think I've already basically answered why I chose nursing. I've always found it, like I said, very interesting, very satisfying, and I love to help people. Um, and so all in all, I have been an RN for 24 years. And I stopped because like I said, Dad had lung cancer, and I went to all his chemo with him and radiation appointments, and then he got very sick and it had spread. And so we had to put him in hospice, and we would take turns staying with him at hospice. Um, so, mom and my brother and myself, and it was just, it took a lot out of me, basically. So I went ahead and worked another year after he passed away. But then I found myself, I was totally depleted. I didn't have anything to give anybody. And I just really needed a break and a rest. So that's why I stopped nursing. And also, in the meantime, while I was home, I had pulled a muscle in my back. Nothing severe. I'm fine now. But that's, you put it all together, and I thought, I'm going to stop for a while. Now, my license are still active. I could go back to work if I wanted. I just really still, I mean, there's a part of me that would like to go back to work, and maybe someday I will. But right now, I'm very happy with YouTube and a little bit slower paced life. Okay. Now, then that gets me into the question of why I started a YouTube channel. My mom um, has a YouTube channel, and the name of her channel is Designs by Joni L. And she hasn't been putting up anything for a long time now because she's had some health problems. And but she has always crafted my entire life. And I would help her on and off craft. I remember when I was little, we would, for Christmas, we would make ornaments, and she would always cook, um, like bake candies and different things like that. And it was just so special. And we would make ornaments and things like that. So I always did kind of craft a little bit. And I remember I took a really pretty piece of material, and that was when I was older, probably like 16 or something, and it was cut to drape along her fireplace mantle, and I took some paint and just embellished what was on there, and it came out so pretty, and I love doing that. I love to draw. So yeah, in a way, I have always been crafty, but I haven't had a lot of time to craft in between going to school and working. So that answers some more questions. Now, did I know that Melvin was the one for me at first sight? That is a hilarious question because my brother introduced us. Melvin waited so long to get married. I've told this story before. I know a lot of you have heard it. Um, we have this friend I met through him, but she's this very old lady. She's sweet as she can be. And she had a decanter. We don't drink, but she had a decanter of some different liquors in it. And it was glass or crystal. And he admired it one day. And she told him, when you get married, I tell you what, I'll give that to you. Well, he waited so long that it turned into like a jelly. And she gave us for a wedding gift the decanter. It's so funny. I've showed it on my YouTube channel. But so he waited so long to get married. And I had dated so many people that I had kind of like, well, I don't I don't know if I'm going to find the one that I really want to be with the rest of my life, but if I do, I do, and if I don't, I don't. Because I was working, I was very sufficient in myself, I was lonely. I really did want to get married, but I wanted to find somebody that I thought would be a good husband and help me. So my brother worked with him and introduced us. And we were all going to go on a double date to Red Lobster. So I went and bought new pants for this date, and I washed them. Well, when I washed them, the material they were made out of, they shrunk. So I was on the bed trying to get them zipped up, and Mom was helping me. And I said, I don't know. She said, well, if these zip, you'll never get them unzipped to go to the bathroom. And I said, well, that can't happen because you know I'm going to go. So I was in my closet trying to look for something to put on. I ended up wearing jeans and I think it was a red shirt. And while I'm in the closet going through my clothes, the thought came to me, you know what? This is probably the man you're going to marry. And I thought, oh, yeah, right. Whatever. And I just kept going through my clothes. Well, turns out we did get married. So that's how we met. And so I guess I really didn't know that he was the one at first, but I did have that little thought that came to me. We've been married almost 12 years. Our anniversary is in July. And a lot of you want to know how mom is doing. Mom is doing pretty well. She's been in isolation now for quite a while. And the minute this virus came out, before that, she hadn't been feeling well. So she hadn't been going out much then. But I would go up and visit her. But since this virus ever came on the surface before it even got here, she started staying in more, and she doesn't go anywhere now. So she's really tired of, the total isolation. I FaceTime her, but that really doesn't take the place of human interaction. We did go up yesterday for the first time, and she sat in the garage, and I sat way out in the driveway, and my husband cut her front yard because it was getting, to where it needed cut. So, but she misses you all so much, and she keeps saying she'd like to make videos, but then I just don't think she really feels up to it. But who knows? She may put one up. And does mom craft? I already answered that. Yes, she does. She's crafted my entire life. She's a very accomplished painter, sewer, crafter. She can write. There's not much that mom can't do, okay? And I already answered that. And I answered that one and that one. Okay, then there was a question, where is our favorite place to eat? And I think hands down it would be Zoe's here in Pensacola. They have wonderful Mediterranean food. We always get the chicken kebabs with double vegetables, with the vegetables well done. And then we get a side of hummus with a Greek salad. Oh, that sounds good. I really would like to go to Zoe's, but we can't, okay? And where would I visit in the world? Well, many of you may not know this, and many of you may. I have been to Paris. I went there my junior year in high school for 8 days. So I've been to Paris. I loved it. It's a very beautiful city. I think I would go to like Greece or Italy. If I could choose, I think I would go maybe to like Greece and Italy. I think that would be so nice. But I've already been on here a while, so maybe I'll just answer the rest of the questions later. And Maggie is doing wonderful, and I'll put some pictures of her in behind this video. But I want to thank everyone for their questions. I had, like I said, no clue you all would be that interested in me. But if you have any more questions, send them to me. I have some more that I haven't answered. And I'll put that together for another video. So if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it and love it if you would subscribe to my channel, and we could have you a part of our family. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. So until next time, guys, stay safe. Bye.